So today I just got back from watching the Garfield movie. Props to Cinema Cafe for giving me this poster and the back over here. I really enjoyed having this poster. I'm gonna put it with the Lego Dimensions, the Lightyear poster. But anyways, what before I give my review for the movie, I just want to give my overall thoughts on Garfield. I really enjoy Garfield. I've only read a bit of the comic books, but I know that thanks to the Garfield show that's on Netflix right now, and the two Bill Murray movies that I own on DVD. So I have a huge attachment to Garfield. I also watched a couple episodes of Garfield and Friends. So I really enjoy Garfield, thanks mainly due to the Garfield show, even though the show is now getting a lot of praise. I think is a show for me. Now going to this film, I do think this film is very hilarious. There are some very funny jokes in it, like the pizza one where Garfield does this, or the train sequence where he's aiming for a train but gets hit back and forth and then makes it to the train. Or Samuel Jackson has some funny voice performance as Vic the father. The connection between Garfield and Vic is actually pretty nice, especially giving some backstory between them about what happened for the events of it. Um, and there's and the villains are quite funny. The animation helps the humor because of how squash and stretchy it is. It's computer animated, but there's a lot of like crazy cartoonish squash and stretch moments, which is very fun and rare for a computer animated movie. But though the movie has a lot of heart in it, especially at the beginning where Garfield first met John. So I think the movie works for its humor, but what about the story? Which I had to say this: watching it, I was having mixed feelings about it because it got me thinking a lot of School, where not only is it like a CG anime remake, reboot of the after two previous live action hybrid attempts, but in this like School, the Garfield movies at first started off as a traditional Garfield movie, and it would be interesting to see how it would go, but then it goes to a different genre from Garfield, where in School it goes to a superhero adventure. This one is kind of a heist comedy where Garfield and Odie are told by this evil cat and her two henchmen or partners to order Garfield and Odie and the father Vic to find something to steal and give it to her, but and then have a hell with a bull who has been abandoned by a festival, and they almost make it, but they got arrested. But John Barco bring them back, but then later decide to rescue Vic from the villain. So I have mixed feelings about that because for one, it didn't feel like Garfield to me because, but second, it felt weird saying that also because Garfield has been in a couple of adventures, like in the first Garfield movie, he was on a rescue to save Odie. And the Garfield show, he went to crazy adventures like robots were there to destroy Garfield, but then managed to escape and saves the world. Um, and there's one Halloween special of Garfield that Garfield and Odie go around the house, if I can remember. Um, but yeah, especially But and three, if another reason why I feel amazed about Danjira because there's barely Garfield characters besides Garfield, Odie, and John. Those are the only main Garfield characters. Liz and Norma are only cameos. Arlene is nowhere to be seen. Doc Boy is not never mentioned or referenced. Vito barely resembles the one from the Garfield show. Um, and yeah, other characters on Garfield are nowhere to be found in this movie. Like, there's no interaction between John or Liz or anything. It's just a brief appearance, which is odd. And I wonder how a sequel will go if it ever happens. Um, but the train sequence action of climax of the movie was very fun, especially because they go cartoonish on it. But it was also a weird part of it where Vic and Garfield jump at the net that Odie set, build it for by himself, and they jump and hit in the head with a train. But then the everyone after the do and spoilers uh change. Um, Everyone, especially the villain, jump to the net and they um make it in living, if that makes sense. So it was weird to have two net jumps at the same time, the same sequence, which so it was odd. And the use of music is it captures the tone of the movie, and the real life use of like live action cats was very hilarious too. That's what's funny about the cat flicks, cat videos. That was funny. It's very out of nowhere, but very interesting idea for this movie. So, and also Chris Pratt to me, um, it's alright. Um, I thought that Garfield would be a more suitable role for Chris Pratt than Mario, but looking back, because of how good the Mario movie was, Chris Pratt's Mario was much more performed better than Garfield to me. And I don't know why, but the animation made me think of two things. One is it feels like an animation from like a CGMA film from different countries, like either from France, German, Spain, or stuff like that. And it made me also think of like how this would have been like the Garfield show film adaptation or something like that because of the animation and how the movie plays out. Um, and also there's no mention of the Cave the Avenger, or so by the way. So, though I did like the Jiminy Davis reference. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on the Garfield movie. Very funny. He has some great humor, but and story. That's my overall thoughts on the Garfield movie. Let me know in the comments below. What are your thoughts on it? Peace out. Bye. 'Cause I didn't watch it on Monday.